Hey guys, this is Lego. I'm joined here with Hove and Triton.
This week we're going to be talking Rise of Iron, private matches, and a little bit about your favorite clan, Resolute.
And today we have a special guest with us.
Okay guys, we made it. Episode 1 of REZOcast. I'm Lego, and I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and have the other hosts tell you a little about themselves before we get rolling. I know you'll get to know us each week. But first of all, I'm Lego Lay Flash. My week has been just building up to this podcast, basically. And I see myself as just kind of a Destiny creative kind of guy, whether that's YouTube videos or now podcasting apparently, and just other artistic stuff like that. But I wanted to introduce Hove and have him tell you a little bit about his week and where he sees himself in the Destiny community.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hove, Hove76. You may see me around. I like to do a little bit of streaming, a little bit of YouTubing, trying to get into that a little bit more, but I'm just kind of all over the place. I like to hang out with everybody in the Destiny community and kind of just, try to make myself, make my way around and meet lots of people and just do what I can. As far as the week, it's all about Rise of Iron. I mean, is there much else to say for the last week?
Unless you're working on a podcast.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But other than that, I think Triton would agree with me, right, Triton?
Yeah, I definitely would, Hove. This week so far has been me trying to figure out which one of the GameStops I had the pre-order for $5 so far at Rise of Iron. Because in my area, there's like 4 or 5 really close. I had to go to a few to make sure that I could pay off the rest of it. But yeah, anticipation for Rise of Iron for sure. In terms of the Destiny community, I just love interacting with the community, especially within our clan, trying to make sure that you bring the people together you meet on social media, or you kind of meet in a game, try to pull them into a raid or pull them into PvP, any of those types of activities. And definitely want to introduce the man who is a big part of the Destiny community, the leader of Resolute, Clawman. What's your week been like? And you're looking forward to Rise of Iron, I'm sure.
Well, hello there, gentlemen. I just want to say, first of all, thank you for making me the honored first guest.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yay.
I mean, but no, it's I really appreciate that opportunity, of course, and I really appreciate all three of you kind of taking this on your own accord. And I have a lot of really great excitement about this. I'm really excited about what you're going to do. I think you three in particular will be a great core to this, and I know that we're hoping to include as many as we can in this throughout its length of stay, and that will be long. And I'm excited. I'm very happy, and I am honored to be here initially. And as Triton did mention, of course, I am Claw. I started Resolute a little over 3 years ago with another guy, a co-founder who is no longer present, and he gave the reins to me a long time ago, and it's been a good ride. I hold the title, but I don't, just to establish the precedent. Everybody here, these three included in particular, and then everybody else, is what makes Resolute what it is, and hopefully that's what you guys will be able to learn about throughout this weekly trip through our through our little community, through Destiny itself, and through our lives, really. So I'm looking forward to that in general. And as far as my week, it has been crazy.
So I
You've
hear.
been all over the place, man.
Yes. Yes. Resolute is a big family, but a family that hasn't necessarily met itself in real life. This summer has been, I think, one of the biggest times of us coming together. I counted it up, and excluding a couple I had met previously, and on a one-to-one basis, I met a majority of 27 of our members.
Dang.
Wow.
this summer. The past 3 months or whatever, which has been so cool. And that's 3 different events, I mean, that's like around 10 of us coming together each group, DCC last month, and RTX in July, which is of course when I met Lego in person, touched him, very soft man.
And shorter than you expected, too.
yeah, very. No, it's very weird. No, and so this past weekend was Blessed Doom's wedding. We just call him Doom. You may know him as his real name, Justin. Great guy, of course. So we pulled off this beautiful, beautiful surprise for him. As part of our gift, of course, was showing up, because, that's hard. Freaking 12-hour days of flying.
Pretty big deal.
Horrible. But anyways, and then I was able to email Deeds a long time ago, several months ago, and ask him about if it would be possible for like a wedding gift type thing for Doom himself, to be able to tour the Bungie studios. And Deeds very kindly was able to oblige us of that. Dang, so we surprised him. It was the best. It was one of the coolest things. You guys, listeners may not know Doom as well as we do, and I've learned more about him even this weekend or whatever. He's a very solemn, quiet, very genuinely nice person, but solemn and quiet. And so his now wife tells me he's very hard to surprise. So we were able to totally surprise him, and we let him know about 30 minutes before we were actually going, and his face just lit up, which is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, I can't even imagine that moment, man.
And then he didn't stop smiling for like 2 hours. And we of course knew, and we were all hyped on our minds as well, like to have it revealed.
Especially keeping something quiet like that for so long to finally get to like release it.
Yeah, his fiance helped us, now wife of course. To timing and locations and people and stuff. So it was a multi-person effort, and it was the coolest thing. And so that was my weekend, kind of hanging out with all. There were 8 of us up there for that wedding. That was in Washington, of course. So. Really cool. Yeah. So
dude, that gives me chills just like you talking about it. Like I saw pictures of them going to Bungie and stuff, but like hearing you say the build up and like just how much of a surprise it was.
It was perfect the little detail, the way we revealed it is with Lick's itinerary, and again, viewers might not know Lick as well, and she'll be on here, I'm sure. She's a wonderful, very exuberant woman. Yeah, she's great. So also very disorganized, I learned so
called out.
So to help that, she writes beautiful itineraries and like make sure everything's organized. So she had our days planned and written out or whatever. So we had her highlight and circle the itinerary and had Doom look over it to make sure that he knew what was going on. We circled it and starred it. I was like, hey, Doom, look for any circled and starred things. And handed it to him. And he read through it, and I could see his finger going down, and he passed it. I'm like, bro, back up a couple lines. Look at that. Look at the circled and starred thing. He's like, yeah, I did see that, but I wasn't sure if I was supposed to. Is that happening? He's like, yes. So that was
I didn't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not sure that was I was supposed to see that. I was like, yes.
Oh,
and
man.
We're going now, so it was cool. Yeah.
Well, I guess before we move on, how about an official shout out and congratulations to Blessed Doom for getting married.
Oh yes, absolutely.
By the time you hear this, will be a little late, but congratulations.
Congrats,
and
man.
Have a good time, man.
He'll be getting back from his honeymoon. That'd be amazing. Yes, and congratulations. What a great couple too. I know you guys didn't get a chance to meet her, but she is so cool.
That's awesome.
Really, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yes. I told her it was a good thing she's married.
So you were saying, Claw, that Rezo is like a family to you, and I think that one of my questions was gonna be who is Resolute, and I feel like you summed it up in saying that, but if you want to go into any more detail.
Resolute is the sum total of all the individuals that make it. I absolutely can never ever and should never ever take credit for what it is. I have been able to be a door of sorts and a structural leadership type person, but like beyond me, like it would be nothing. You guys, again, you three, the rest, everyone else is what makes Resolute what it is. We have a bunch of different perspectives in the community itself on life. Individuals and personalities that all like kind of fit together and it's great. So yeah, that's kind of what we are, and we're not to be the microphone and the what are those things that make lots of noise? A loud horn?
Oh, fireworks.
No, fireworks. An air horn.
No, like you talk into it and
yeah,
like you make an
it's like
announcement.
an air horn, but speakerphone.
Yes.
Megaphone.
The
Megaphone.
megaphone. A megaphone.
Fireworks.
Totally ridiculous.
to be fireworks to the community. No, to be the megaphone to the community right now. You know, we are not a PvP elite clan. You know, we have amazingly talented PvP players. They're some of the kindest gentlemen I've ever met. We have great raiders, we have podcasters and YouTubers and stuff, and we're not any of that, which is the coolest thing, I think. And we're not defined by one segment of the community. We are everyone.
That's so cool. It's like we're not one of those things. We're all of those things.
Yep. So don't judge my KD. Okay.
Or any of ours, for that matter.
Yeah, especially Hove.
Especially me. Rip the dream. But I know, I think that was one of the things, you know, when I first joined that was kind of the coolest to me, is you look around and you see every different kind of Destiny player and individual that you can find in the community, pretty much. Like you said, there's people that raid and really only play PvE. You have people that just got invited to an MLG event. You have people doing shoutcasting. You have people, you know, everything you could think of, all put together in one group. You know, like you said, we're not any one thing. It's everything.
It's almost like it was on purpose.
Yeah, that KJ Hovey did a really good job when he put this clan together. Because he's the leader, right?
Yeah, Hovey, he's great.
Yeah.
Amazing leadership figure, Hovey. Yeah.
Just to clarify, that's a joke for anybody listening who actually thinks Hovey is the leader.
Hovey doesn't think it's a joke, though. Yeah, Hovey thinks he's the leader. I had him sign something of mine at DCC, and he signed it. Hovey, leader of Resolute.
Oh, no, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Claw, then I have to ask then, is that by design then that it just kind of all works, that we just have this wide range of members? I mean, obviously there's a process that we go through to be in Resolute, but when it's set out, did you think that we would be pretty much, you know, a little bit to everybody?
We have grown very progressively and slowly, of course, over many years. So we have always grown on purpose, and we've always recruited deliberately. So, I mean, and a lot of the listeners out there may be, interested parties. They've probably applied. You know, we have 3,000 applications wonderfully saved on our server and stuff. A lot of really cool people. I consider them our love letters, of course. So that perspective is there, and so at this point, as we have grown, when we did recruit, it was on purpose. And we look at, like, do we need some more European players, or do we need more PvP players so we can accommodate our members? So, that consideration is made. We don't want one person left out. If we had only one PvP player, then he would enjoy his experience. Honestly, so it is deliberate, but a lot of it's guessing. A lot of it's just all serendipity. Like this, I think everything that Resolute has become is just all serendipity. It's just a bunch of people coming together and, like, being awesome, and, like, help building up each other's awesome, and it's just a really cool weird thing.
Yeah. Well, first off, man, that leads me to say, like, not only thank you for, like, being on this podcast and, like, coming and supporting this, but, like, seeing your leadership and, like, the way that you've kind of set the tone for it being a family and it being so diverse, all these different people, like, coming together and it just working together. Like, that isn't by accident. Like, you've put a lot of work into making these things fit together. And just even hearing, like, you coming over to my house and having conversations with you, and hearing from Hove and talking to you after Destiny Community Con, just, like, we're so appreciative of how you put your time and effort into this group and into fitting all these pieces together that could just be a pile on the ground instead of a picture of a really cool community.
I'm humbled to have been, any part of it. And it's been one of the most wonderful experiences of my life. And I have been speaking from my personal perspective, of course, but I would be remiss not to mention the leadership figures that we have currently. Of course, Tinks has been one of the most wonderful assets to the group that I could ever imagine. I just met her, as a mutual friend, and she grew into, like, a very close personal friend of mine, and, like, this amazing, like, connecting, like, personality among the group and stuff. And then Monk is a newer leadership figure, of course, and he is just great. Like, if there's ever been somebody who we did select, and, like, ask interests and stuff, and he has been amazing. He's more behind the scenes, and I think he prefers that anyway, so it works out well. Like
Right.
I want to use my fireworks, my loud thing. No, what is it? My megaphone.
Yes.
I want to use the megaphone right now just to point some attention in his direction.
Yes, and they both deserve it.
Yes, absolutely. He is reliable and dependable, and he's detail oriented, and he does a bunch of background stuff without me or Tinks having to worry about it, any of us having to worry about it. And it's great. So both of them are the current leadership. Boom has been a leadership figure, and he designed our logo. Boom Slang, one of our older members. Since almost the very beginning, a couple months after our actual founding, he joined.
Dang.
He's the designer of the logo, of course. He was our social media manager. He built a lot of our Twitter presence, single-handedly, because he's better at that than I am, or whatever. And he has stepped down from official leadership given his busyness in life and his darling children and his busy work life. But he's still actively as part of Rezo, and his heritage lives on. All the stuff he's been able to add to us is still resounding among the group.
Yeah.
Now, kind of building on actually all three of you guys, the last couple of things you've said.
Sure.
As Lego said, when the time we spent in Tampa for DestinyCon, we talked about a lot of different things, and like Lego mentioned, it was things, we all, we respected you before. You're the, leader and founder of Resolute, but after talking to you, like, there's things that you consider in running this clan, and you make decisions that I, at least personally, wouldn't even have thought to be a consideration. And so that kind of takes me into, like, the next question. Going back, like when you started Resolute, did you start it with the aspiration of it becoming something like it is today, or did it just kind of start as, some friends, let's play this game, and as it built, you kind of realized where you could go with it?
Right. Of course, I did set out with the goal to have 1 million Twitter followers. So we're not quite there yet, but 1%, I think, at this point. So that's... No, of course. No, I think whenever that question is asked, the answer is always no. I think most people, especially in the internet age, this kind of wild frontier we live in, most people just end up doing things they love, and they find people who like doing the same thing, and it kind of builds around them, and that's a fairly vague but good description of kind of how Resolute was. I mean, honestly, the very, very seed reason how I became a founding member of Resolute was just looking for a clan that I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting this guy with a lot of like ambitions and stuff, and he, unfortunately he did fall out. He didn't follow through with a lot of them, but discussing, his intentions and design, fully taking those to heart and becoming my first job was recruiter. He's like, here, I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna write down these paragraphs of our plans. I was like, okay, those sound good. I'll talk about those. A couple of things let's adjust, but I'll go out to the forums at that point, BNet forums, and I'll go find some people who seem to be as excited and high quality as we're looking for. So we designed our founding principles, kind of the considerations we made. To be a singular group on a single console, to be an adult-oriented group, and to be a friendly, aggressively competitive group of friends that enjoy spending time together. So that's the very basic description of what we still are, which is an amazing, I guess, feat.
Accomplishment. Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just slowly grew, in course, and one of the defining turning points, I guess, would be just getting connected with Mesa Sean, and who I knew of just because of a community focus that Bungie did. So taking all the way back is the way Bungie treats their community and supports it and influences it is really kind of why it's possible. What inspired me. Looking at DJ's TTTL Gunslingers it was an example. I was like, this is a really cool thing. And they're kind of quiet, like they don't draw a lot of attention to each other, but they do a lot of incredible things. One of them created DIM.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, they don't slap the labels on that, and I didn't know that until I met him coincidentally at DCC. I was like, hold on, You did that? You have single-handedly made my Destiny experience better every single time I sit down on my PC and do it. Yeah. So I mean, there's been other groups, and I feel like I love who we are, and I love what we've been able to do. But we're not the only one. There's amazing clans out there, and this is of course our podcast. So we're gonna talk about ourselves. But I mean, we would be remiss not to at least mention the communities surrounding us and the clan influences that I had, the inspirational clan influence I had, and looking at them, looking at things that are done right and things that are done wrong. Because there's some mistakes that are made sometimes. So just trying to avoid those as other clans have risen and sometimes fallen, trying to avoid mistakes and that kind of thing. So this is over time, developing and getting back to my point, meeting someone like Mesa Sean who had his own community. He's one of the co-founding members of a huge Facebook community. So he had a bunch of admins, one of whom was Tinks, one of whom was Hovey at that point actually. So meeting both of them through him was of course some of the more defining members of the group, some people who've really been able to establish like the quality. I mean, both of those are amazing people. There's the human beings who I would admire to be, and like am proud to have known and to have known. So
yeah,
that's kind of that, and them bringing their influence and even some of their friends along for the ride has kind of been part of the structural like shifts and like growth and stuff, and just little by little, step by step, person by person. Each person we get, I mean, each one adding something new, bringing new cards to the table. It's just been this amazing roller coaster ride that is still exhilarating.
It's so cool to hear you connect all those dots, like, because we all know these people. Everyone listening to the podcast knows these people, but hearing you like, I was through this Facebook thing that Mesa had, and just like, that's so cool, man.
It's crazy. This is beautiful, like built structure.
Cool. Right.
Well, I had a question that everyone here is probably going to cringe hearing because we hear it so many times, but I feel like it's so appropriate to ask it on this podcast. Maybe this will relieve a few PSN messages from our accounts, and that is, how do I get in Resolute?
Well, let me tell you. I've recently hidden the sign-up link actually to make it a little bit harder. So if you can find our application online, it's not too terribly hidden, but no, I took off the button recently as a kind of right now I'm using that to describe kind of our perspective now. We have been around for 3 years. We are a well-established group. We have many incredible people, and we in reality are very happy with where we are. That's not to say we will never recruit again. That's not to say that we're going to recruit next month. But we are happy. We don't feel the desire or the need to fill up every single BNet clan slot that we have available. Not that we wouldn't do that in the future. I'm saying it's. I'm trying to paint myself in a corner here. But right now, we have historically the website's been up for maybe almost a year now, a little over a year now.
It's been a little over a year, yeah.
Yeah, we have 3,000 applications saved on our server. As I had alluded to earlier, I consider those a love letters to us. It's just it's the greatest compliment that someone can give me. I want to join your clan as a whole. We want to join Resolute. That's amazing. And I wish that we could have every one of you, but kind of the way that society works is you have to have a defined group to have a defined group.
Yeah, right. For sure.
We are not in a mass recruiting stage, and that's not to say we won't recruit individuals in the future, and that was a long time consideration. It's a continuing consideration, of course. Something we look at. So I can't say that I can't give the good news, and someone would hope to hear that we're going to recruit 5 next month and 5 after, and because it's sometimes somehow scary to bring in variables to if you have something perfect, if colloquial saying, of course, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That applies.
And there's the hard thing is there's amazing people out there. I know. I personally know people who would make great additions, but it's a challenging decision. A lot of variables to consider, and we do continuously. We leadership figures in particular. We have the that conversation a lot and stuff. So I cannot give definite answers, so it's not going to help us at all. I will still receive messages and send messages to me. I have my DMs unlocked on purpose. I am accessible at all times. I may not respond that day or that 2 days, but I'll get back to you as when I can. But yeah, so I mean, that kind of mentality to be able to not feel horrible inside, because I really do. I wish I could accommodate everybody. I wish that all these wonderful people could have a place. So that was kind of at least the origin motivation for establishing Rezo House, which is not supposed to be Resolute. It's not supposed to be a fan clan, just to clarify that. And we've written this down put it on the internet, so you can go check it out later too. And it's not a feeder group. We didn't create Rezo House to filter out, high quality players that we want to have in our group. That's not what we do, first of all, and it's not a fair way to treat people. Yeah, we're gonna put you in this lower group, and maybe if you prove yourself you're good enough, then you can join us. That sucks.
Yeah.
And that is not what that is. We established in some way a group that was founded on the same establishing principles, but without any of the some of the defining features, but some of the restrictive features as well. It's open to all ages, it's open to all platforms, and it's come and go as you please. So it's a community group. It's a community clan is what we call it, and it's an amazing growing thing. I think it's up to almost 500 plus now of individuals who have signed up and wear the tag on BNet. That's kind of how that number is defined. And hundreds of people active on Twitter, getting to know each other, and active in our Discord and connecting on a more unique level than on a broader level, on a kind of in some way cooler level than even we are inside our little Rezo family, our little Resolute family. Like they have hundreds of people there, and it's a different experience. And it's not supposed to replicate, and it's not supposed to be a secondary option. It's supposed to be something else that we also love, and it's been great to see that grow, and it's still young. I think it's maybe 4 or 5 months old now. It's just in its baby forming stages too, which is cool. Rezo at 5 months was not even half as cool as Rezo House already is. So
That's pretty. It's so crazy, man.
And that's kind of why that exists. It hurts me as I have to say no to people. I don't send out rejection emails. I don't want to reject anybody. That's not my intention. If anything, it's not right now. Maybe later. As far as actual Rezo application goes. And then in the meantime, so it's kind of like in the meantime, please join in on this this community clan, this subset of the Destiny community as a whole. And it is fun. It is something cool. So
absolutely. And I was gonna just add on to that and say, for people who like the next question I get aside from how do I get into Resolute is like, well, what do you guys look for, and like if things ever open up, and like I think that I can address that as, man, like being like a part of the Destiny community. Like if you literally like just play a game and send me a DM and that's all the involvement I see in the Destiny community, like then you may not end up playing with a lot of Resolute players. I feel like, just because someone doesn't get into Resolute doesn't mean you can still hang out with a lot of Resolute guys.
Oh, right. Yeah. And that's, of course. That's always been true. I hope, I know I understand the, how should I say, the desire to have the tag and to wear the name and stuff and have the banner, so to speak. And like, I understand that is precious to me personally, and it's precious to all of our members, and that's the desirable thing. But that's all you're kind of missing. If I don't recruit you, we give you a full list of our members on Twitter to connect with. We give you a full access to any of who's available. Of course, they're all other fellow adult human beings that have lives and stuff. So I mean, I can't promise that all of them will be able to talk with you, or that any of them will be able to spend 20 hours raiding with you at once. But we are there. We all have the same perspective, because to answer your question, the opening, what do I look for in a member? It's just somebody with a community focus. Sometimes that gets misinterpreted as a streamer. that I recruit a streamer, and that's unfortunately, I mean, that's of course not the case. I recruit someone who has a community perspective of some sort, and often that's lived out as a streamer, often that's lived out as a YouTuber, often that's lived out as a person who plays the game and helps their friends go to the lighthouse or finish the raid or whatever. You know, I mean, that's part of it. You know, it's an important part of it. So I feel happy to say that by and large, you know, any of our members would be happy to help you to the best of their ability, and that's kind of what I look for and what I would expect out of a new member. So.
What a cool thing too to see. Like, I like it, even just being in the clan, it's cool to watch my fellow members carrying people to the lighthouse or doing the, you know, the last runs they need before this final reset where you're not going to have a chance to finish all the year 2 stuff, you know, or even in year 1 when everybody was doing the Prison of Elders, like trying to get Skolas done, you know, like, Skolas. Yeah. Let's not think about it. Yeah, but it's just so cool to like be along, like that's my family going along and helping those people. It's so cool, and I think that people see that from the outside, and so they can know that those are the kind of qualities that you look for.
And of course, to be clear, I mean, we're not the only ones doing it. There's amazing groups out there doing this.
Yeah.
You know, there are other people, individuals, and stuff. And
absolutely,
you know, again, this is our podcast. We're going to talk about ourselves, but I don't want it to be like a closed-minded consideration. Of course, we are a small part of the community who is just like that. That is, if nothing else, the coolest thing about Destiny. The Destiny community as a whole is, you know, the streaming culture. Someone was very detailedly explaining to me that the rating culture in the Destiny directory, so them streamers call the list of the people who play Destiny. Apparently, it's fairly unique to have like a higher number, top, more well-known streamers push their viewers down into smaller channels or whatever. That's apparently a unique thing, which I wasn't, you know, privy to.
Yeah, me neither.
That is a small thing, is a unique consideration that the Destiny community has, you know, to push that out, and that's kind of in reality, that's my personal inspiration. That's kind of how we are able to exist, you know, in that community, healthily and happily, of course. So it's a small magnifying glass, and we like to intensely magnify that mentality, that attitude. But yeah, I would be remiss to of course, you know, clarify that is a community-wide problem. Speaking ironically,
right.
You know. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of the Destiny Twitch directory, from what I understand, over the last couple weeks, there's a new face that's been streaming here and there. You know anything about that?
Yes,
Claw?
it's me.
Yeah, Claw's streaming.
Yes, yeah, it's kind of unique, and I don't know a whole lot about Twitch still, but DCC was like eye-opening to me. And I think we forget, but all those Twitch accounts are people out there. They're watching. Yeah. I mean, they're getting to know you. I mean, so I wrote it on my channel, which is twitch.tv/claw_rezo. Claw_rezo. Okay.
You'll get plug time later. Don't worry.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I wrote down why do you stream? And it's because it's like you put yourself out there, you put your face on the internet and your horrible gameplay sometimes, to kind of open up that conversation to those who are willing to, you know, to join your channel and kind of become a member of that conversation. You know, so that's yeah. that's I did start that, but that's why that's a really cool thing. So I admire all the streamers a little bit more than I have before, you know.
Yeah.
Because I always wonder, like, why do you play video games all day, and why do you watch video games all day? Why don't you go play them, guys? You know, there's the controller right next to you, probably.
Yeah, it's one of those things I don't think you really realize it until you're involved, but it really becomes much more about the interaction, and almost, you know, in the same way as we have, you know, the Resolute family, you go to different channels and they all have their own little communities and little families of people that are together, and that's really, I think, the coolest thing about streaming on Twitch.
Yep, it is.
Well, speaking of you just starting streaming, I wanted to ask you a few questions about Destiny, like because Destiny is what brought us all together here.
My answer is go Hunter.
Oh no!
What's your next question?
Okay, my next question is what I want to know, like what your favorite activities are in Destiny, like you as a player. Is it raids? Is it Trials of Osiris? Is it just Crucible stuff, hanging out with your Rezo fam in some scouting mission?
Yeah,
Patrols.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Crucible pleb here.
Unfortunately, patrols are at the very bottom of my list of things I like to do in Destiny. No, kind of in general, but I enjoy objective PvP game modes. Salvage has been a favorite of mine. They recently perfected it even further.
Yes.
So that is almost always. If I'm like, what do I want to do? I want to play Salvage. So they kind of readjusted the game mode. It's better because you don't have people playing skirmish and Salvage because that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so I mean that if a singular answer to that question. I enjoy PvP. It's more of an evergreen activity. I really do enjoy PvE content, which I'll be partaking in brand new PvE content in what, 6 hours?
Yes.
Yeah,
4 hours and
So soon.
so I'm admittedly very excited about that. But yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
me too.
I really do. Destiny is the best game I've ever played. Everything is fun.
Yeah.
Patrol gets boring, but Patrol is even fun. Patrol's fun to run through for 5 minutes,
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I was about to do. Like while I was waiting on this, I was like, I'm gonna grind up, my Vanguard rep, but just doing some patrols for a second, because that sounds nice.
I'm gonna get one of them shiny packages. All right.
Also, with your Destiny experience, do you feel like you have a particular bent towards playstyle? Like, do you have are you like a shotgun rusher? Are you more sit in the back sniper?
What? Well, don't be judging me.
Hove's played against you apparently and knows your playstyle.
No, in reality, the playstyle I admire the most and would theoretically strive for is the all-around player. I know people who are far superior to it. I mean, I think True Vanguard is one of the pristine examples. Picking up any weapon combination, any subclass combo, anything, and using it to its strengths and stuff. That's what I strive for. I like to be variable, but as far as what I'm actually good at, because unfortunately, no. But I pick up a scout and a shoddy and the Bones of AO any day, and have a blast.
Nice.
Yes.
That is my favorite, I guess, quote unquote play style. And I've been playing Gunslinger since the very beginning. I still love it. I love it a little bit less without my sticky trip mines, but I still do love it. There is nothing better than unicorning someone right in the forehead.
That's true. That is very true. That was good.
I miss it, but I understand the design change, and I'll allow it. But
You just get to watch it do that little spinny thing when it gets stuck on somebody.
yeah, I know.
now.
Yeah,
Do a little fireworks show
yeah,
for
it's funny. I'm like, what is going on there?
you. Well, how about private matches? I want to kind of jump into that a little bit. Maybe we're going to get into some more general talk here, but I'll start with you, Claw, since we're already asking you a bunch of questions. Have you gotten to jump in much to any of this?
I did. I jumped in all alone into one game so I could say that I did it.
Did you finish with a positive KD?
I didn't. I was negative.
He fell off the map.
Yeah, and then killed myself. No, no. I have unfortunately been busy since it came out, and that was so cool of them to release it early. That was such a surprise. I think that was so cool. So I haven't actually had a lot of hands-on with it, just according to my schedule and traveling this past weekend, as I had alluded to earlier. I did hinder that quite a bit, but it is so exciting. I did not expect it even remotely until Destiny 2, honestly. I mean, I assumed it was some sort of structural infrastructure thing they could further address, with a sequel or some such, but they surprised us, and it's so cool. I've, of course, seen all the social media about it and seen some of the community norms establishing there and stuff. And 1v1 sounds good, and I'll take you down, Hove. That's fine.
Down whenever you want. We can both stream it.
Oh yeah, y'all both need to stream it. Do it.
No, it's a really cool. It's going to be a cultural shift in Destiny as a whole. It's going to add a new perspective that wasn't there. Of course, tournaments will be much easier and much more established. We'll finally have a refined competitive community, which is great because I think up to now it's been a lot of people saying what they are and not not being able to prove it anywhere. So I think it'll be really cool to see brackets established and patterns formed and teams perfected. I think that's really going to be an exciting shift, and it's on an infrastructure level. But the friend list, it's going to be so much fun playing with your friends. Rezo members, Rezo member game night is going to be more fun. I'm very impatient. It takes a lot of me to sit there and wait to matchmake for 15 minutes. And up till now, I've avoided that in most cases. But this is going to be easy. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be a staple going forward. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing I wanted to touch on, you mentioned the obvious, the competitive, the brackets, the tournaments, and that's going to be great. I mean, that's really going to.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna start a DraftKings Destiny League.
MLG Clawman. But
I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. Okay.
On the even broader side, that I think I don't want to say it gets lost, but it's not the first thing people think of, is just the random, more casual community stuff you can do with private matches. I mean, as we've talked about, Lego and Triton in the past about this, you can do anything now, almost.
Yeah.
And it's really just become, it's opened up a whole new world of gameplay in Destiny. It lets you just have hours and hours of stuff even during, a said content drought.
Well, I definitely agree, Hove, and kind of staying with that point along with what, Claw's been mentioning about, our position as Resolute and what we are to the community is, I play with a lot of people in the community, not just our clan members, and there's so many people who have just kind of either DM'd me or interacted on, PSN or something like that and says, hey, do you want to just play private matches? And these are people who never wanted to play PvP before, and it's always something cool though. It's like, hey, let's do melees only, or let's do a situation where we all go after one person and they get to use their super, we have to use melees. Or it's just creative things, and I don't remember all the specifics that usually people will mention, but I think that it just allows for a broader audience to participate in something that honestly towards the end of the Taken King, here we are that there's only the tournament people seemingly playing a lot. Or that's at least what you're seeing on social media. There's not as many casuals wanting to play. So I think it's definitely been great for just the general community to play, along with, as you mentioned, the competitive scene.
So that reminds me so much of just sitting at my house, in a LAN party with all my friends, being in that private match. I don't know, it just gave it a different setting when you're playing just those fun game types. It reminded me of chasing each other, someone's driving a warthog and we're playing only sticky grenades, trying to nail that thing as it drives by. So that's kind of the feeling I get whenever we're playing those silly games. But I really enjoy just personally, I love playing slightly more serious, skill based, not skill based, that's the wrong word, slightly more serious competitive stuff in the private matches, even if it's not scrims for a tournament or something like that. Just playing that 4v4 elimination, stuff you couldn't do before. You were saying, Claw, just seeing the private matches, it being an entertainment, it's fun to watch, kind of thing. To me, I'm just man, if I know 4v4 just clash kind of is a thing, but if 4v4 elimination was a thing, I would be zoned into that, because being the last man standing against 4 other people is so it's just so encapturing. Yeah. Hard. That
really
too.
Hard.
That too.
The cliff is looking mighty fine right now.
I think one of the things that for me has shown to be one of the most fun competitive things has been 4v4 zone control.
Yeah.
Which I hated. Hated zone control when it first came out and was 6v6. I played it once. I think we got mercied 3 games in a row, and I said, I'm never playing this again. And now that it's 4v4 and putting together your own teams and everything, I think it's one of the better objective game modes to really showcase teamwork and skill.
Yeah.
As opposed to, even skirmish for salvage anymore. Salvage is good now too, as Claw pointed out, but zone control is, I think, my new favorite.
Yeah, the objective ones are really cool. And Claw was saying salvage too. I haven't tried the 4v4 or 5v5 salvage, but I heard it's really, really fun.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to ask, as somebody who haven't really played any type of game in a competitive sense up until, just the if you could matchmake in Destiny, is why kind of 4v4 seems to be the sweet spot. Obviously we had 3s and 6s. I don't hear a ton about 5s, but, there's a lot of people that play this game a heck of a lot more and at a higher level than I do. Why was 4 such a thing?
Isn't that the Halo precedent?
I think that is the main reason. It's like what people are used to. And another reason people like it is because of the map sizes of Destiny.
Yes.
People feel like that's the right number of people for the possible engagements on a map.
I agree, and I
that
think
would make sense.
I think with 3s, a lot of people, we're not going to get into balancing and weapons and all that right now, but I think one of the things that people complain about is that things have slowed down.
Why not? Why shouldn't we have that conversation
we talked
again?
enough about that
and again, and again.
For our 24-hour
it's a 24-hour
REZOcast
podcast.
episode,
Yeah.
We'll talk nothing but weapon balancing. But I think, people have been said that the gunplay has gotten very slow and the game is very slow, and I think 4s is a nice sweet spot where it puts more people on the map and forces more engagements, but yet it's not quite, 6s where everywhere you look there's a shotgun down your throat. And I think that's a big reason why it's worked. Like Lego said, with the map size, it's kind of put the right number of engagements happening and made it kind of the best of both worlds.
I think that's what made the 4v4 elimination really cool to me, is it didn't feel like, even though the stakes were high in elimination, just playing for fun scrims, like 4v4 elimination, it felt like every encounter wasn't as serious, and there were more opportunities for revives, which sounds like a terrible thing, the way people complain about revive timers. but it really was just really fun because you never knew what was going to happen in even more spontaneous fashion than would typically happen in elimination.
I think, I have, as I mentioned, I haven't been able to firsthand experience this, but I'm just in the way you're talking about it and stuff. I think 4 is a cool number of teammates because
4 is a cool number.
I really like 4.
That was very
4 is great. I like the way it's shaped and the multiple ways you can write it. You can write it open and pointy. All right, anyways, no. You always have a buddy in if you're playing accurate, if you're playing well, if you're playing accurately, you're always playing off somebody.
Yeah.
So in 3s, you're playing off 2 people, which is, to me, impossible.
Right.
So you're either the solo flanker, which often gets destroyed, and that's not fun, or So I think having 2 parties that can separate and still work and coordinate, that sounds like a really fun.
That's so true.
Like strategic dynamic, which I am looking forward to perfecting.
I think it's also opened up a little bit more. Before it was 2 shotguns and a sniper, 2 shotguns and a sniper, and now I think it's kind of opened that up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I still don't think in the highest level of competitive you're going to see anyone who's okay with a fusion rifle for whatever reason.
Yeah, 2 shotguns,
Lego,
a sniper rifle, and a fusion rifle. That's the new setup.
You kind of cover that mid range. That's what I like, and I've been using some fusions lately. And
I just need to interrupt here and point out how much of a hipster True Vanguard was at the MLG
I know.
thing. Get a TV.
And I have never considered him a hipster because he has no style until then, and I was like, "Oh, TV's a hipster."
It was so awesome.
Completely against the meta. Everything. Defender, fusion rifle. That was amazing.
Yeah, there wasn't
Shout
a
out
single
to True
thing.
Vanguard for that.
Dude, TV, I love you, man. Keep up the voops.
GG.
GG, yeah. And
GG.
hey, while we're on that, let's go ahead and talk about Imtash too, standing up there shoutcasting, because he
sexy mofo.
He was the most natural person up there. Like he looked like he belonged there.
He does.
Yeah, I agree.
He was
I think
born
he did a
there,
great job.
and he grew up
He
there,
was born there.
and now he'll stay there.
I can't wait to see like what else becomes of that, not just of MLG and stuff, but Imtash in particular, shoutcasting. Like, I'm super excited for that. And then I'm also super excited to see like where our clanmates go in competing there, and just what the rules are. Like, we're discussing it here, but they haven't even come out with like scrim players like have their base rule set. Some people are like, no exotic armor, and then I think Ramblin was talking about, allowing some exotic armor, and it keeps flip-flopping back and forth. And I'm wondering if there's going to be like this precedent that's set, and then everybody knows these are the basic rules,
It's going to go down in Destiny history books as like the meeting of the war minds.
Yes, exactly.
The Treaty of the War Minds of 2016.
I like it.
All right.
So, I mean, last thing that I just want to touch on for private matches at least is just a quick, like, what is the best custom game mode you've played or have heard about, since not all of us have had any as much experience with it so far. But for me, we were playing 1v6 with the 1 got to use whatever they wanted, and the 6 all had to use sword hilt. And it was like watching a pack of lemmings, especially on like Pantheon. It was like you'd get to one side, you'd get the kill eventually, and then just this sprinting of lemmings across the entire map until they found the other person, and then just swiping at each other. It was some of the most fun I've ever had in Destiny.
Man, that sounds awesome. I think you're going to hate me for this, Hope, but my funnest thing has been dodging that Nova Bomb that you shot my way in 6v6 a limb. But it was really fun, though, because it wasn't 6, it was 4v4, because that's another thing with 4v4 is PlayStation only allows 8 for a party chat. And so the 8 of us, like, not going serious, but allowing everyone to hear everyone in the 4v4 was just so much fun. Like, just even we would call out stuff and the other team would know where it is, and then we're joking we're gonna dodge each other and stuff, and it was just such a blast. Like, I had so much fun. It's not really a game type, it's just that setting, the 4v4 where everybody has their mics on, and it's just a community blast,
Just mass chaos.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I think should happen is this should be a segment. It should be PvP game mode of the week.
Yes. Yes. We'll discuss it beforehand and showcase one every week.
Excellent.
Done.
Look at that.
Peeking behind the curtain, viewers, please mind.
Yeah. Move along now.
So how about either of you guys, Triton or Claw? I know you haven't had as much experience playing, but I'm sure you've heard of some cool things that have been made.
The best private game experience I've had so far is 1v0. And I picked up the Spark and I ran it all the way to the Rift without hindrance.
And you got the bounty done, right? For the Spark Runner bounty? That's what I did.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, yeah. I don't have anything. Please continue.
Well, Claw, like you, I've had a lot of things go on life-wise, and also I really wanted to remain as kind of spoiler-free this time around. And by spoiler, I also mean personal experience. I chewed through the Taken King content so quickly. I really want to space this one out if I can. So actually, Hope, I think it was your one person got to use anything 6 sword hilts that I must have been in stream for that, or you were tweeting about it. Okay, so that's kind of where I got when I was saying that I'm hearing all these cool things, and I guess I kind of regurgitated that as like 6 people use melee and 1 person used whatever or super. But I think that was the funnest one I had witnessed, and just kind of the good times and the laughing that went on in that stream was pretty awesome. So I'd have to say that's been my favorite kind of view so far.
I, of course, went as scummy as possible when it was my turn. I did Sunsinger, double fusions, double flame shields, universal remote, and self-res.
You're bad
in true Hove style.
I was going to say, I was waiting for that banish, yeah.
I'm bad and I should feel bad.
You didn't use Thorn, so Claw's not going to kick you out yet.
Yeah. Stupid Thorn.
So you said you were staying spoiler-free, Triton. Does that include talking about any weapon or armor that we've seen or anything like that? We're not talking any story or anything. How do you feel?
And if so, bye.
I think in terms of spoiler-free, I think I prepare myself for our podcast. And that's probably the extent I'll go in. I definitely, look at what's going on in social media and some of the things. Obviously, I read the Game Informer that came out with Rise of Iron on the cover and so forth. But I haven't been, diving in and following up with people that may leak something, or, definitely not been in GroupMe to talk about all of the things that we're seeing. I'm just kind of a casual browse. So that's probably... So, I mean, I'm not, immune to the spoilers, I want to say. But I haven't put any out there myself. and or followed up on anything that I've
Yeah.
seen.
Well, let's talk about some of what we've seen for Rise of Iron and what we're excited about. Maybe, some of the common things we've seen online, like what some of the armor looks like, what we've seen in the Bungie trailer, basically. What are you guys excited for? Is there anything that sticks out that's like, man, I'm really excited for the story, or I'm really excited for this armor or this weapon?
I am so excited that the Hunter Raid armor finally isn't horribly ugly.
Yes. All of
In fact, it's far superior to the other two classes.
It is. I'm so sad about my Titan.
It's about freaking time. We have had horrible armor since Vaulted Glass in raids, okay? So, thank you.
I think all the
whoever
armor
that
looks
was,
pretty-
whatever team worked on that. I love you.
I think all the armor looks pretty awesome this time around, to be
Yep.
honest. I mean, I know that's a very blanket statement, but I think they did a good job.
Did you see the Warlock Raid armor? Are you sure you saw that?
Maybe not.
No, I'm with you, Hove. I think that all the armor for all that, like even seeing not just the raid armor, but even though I'm a little bummed about the Titan chest piece, it looks kind of like the backbones going through their stomach. But the rest of it looks really cool, and so does all the Iron Lord's armor and all the Iron Banner armor, and the Trials of Osiris armor looks so freaking cool. Like
all three of those look really great, I feel.
so good, and they're very unique too. They're not like oh, this looks kind of like the Vanguard or the Crucible one. Like all the new like Scarab armor for the Titan from Trials of Osiris, like it looks so completely different than the Siva armor and so completely different than the Iron Lord armor. Like it all looks so distinct.
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, honestly, my favorite thing about Destiny is collecting sets of things. Like I love, first of all, collecting the superficial set, like having the whole set put together, and then getting like the perfect rolled full set. That's what I spend, 1,000 hours doing. So.
Did you get the light up SRL set for the Racing League?
That would have required me to play SRL, so no.
Okay, so he won't go that far in collecting, but
I can't do things that are not actually fun, but yes. Personal opinion, sorry.
burn.
Well, I'll say my favorite thing about, Rise of Iron and what I'm looking forward to most, and, you guys kind of touched on it to a degree, is just the amount of customization. We're going to definitely go one level deeper here. So, just the different sets of armor, now we're getting artifacts to kind of augment your abilities, the ornaments, and then also I believe that the exotic coast off is going to have the ability to have like different fire rates and so forth. So I think just adding that level, if you can kind of play more the way you want to play, or more that is attuned to how you want to play, is just kind of breathing more into those RPG elements. And I just think that we're definitely going in the right direction that way. So that's what I'm excited for the most, is that you're not going to look like everybody else. Your gun's not necessarily going to be like everybody else. There's just going to be more variety that you see in PvP, in PvE, and that really excites me.
I'm excited too.
Totally.
I just want a black and gold Hawkmoon.
Oh man, all the ornaments look so cool. That I looked at that. I was playing with Hawkmoon today and thought that exact same thing.
I mean, not only is it's black and gold, it's badass, but I mean, I'm from Pittsburgh, so come on. That's gonna be the
Yeah, I'm
first
with you
thing I
there,
get.
Ho. With you
Wow,
there.
Triton.
For sure.
what's Pittsburgh all about? Is there a sports team?
Yeah, are you talking
or-
about something aside from gaming? I don't know what you're referring to.
Is
There's a few.
Is
There's a
the
few
ball
sports teams.
oblong?
Just a couple.
Do the men wear tight pants and grope each other?
That's why
that-
I like it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, that's cool.
Then
I
you're
get
okay.
it. There's some nice buns out there. I get it. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool guns coming out too, but I don't want to make any like predictions about, like, I know we like just today, like a day early before it's released, they released all the archetypes for all the different guns and stuff, and like you can look at all those stats, but you never know how a gun's gonna feel until it's like, in your hands.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so
He made air quotes, guys.
I
He
did
made air quotes. Okay.
in your hands, but they all look really awesome though, and they cover pretty much every archetype, and all the perk trees are different now, and so there's really no telling. Like we could have new favorites that are not what we were expecting at all, and so I'm super excited for trying everything out, and everything looks really cool from just the little icons I can see. The colors at least look really cool.
Dude, icons are dope.
Hey, they're important. We'll see them
Yeah,
a lot.
I agree.
We'll
I
see.
agree.
Well, even apparently we were talking about, next level customization and just another, aspect to it. But from what I've seen, there's new perks that kind of build on top of old perks coming.
Yeah,
Has anyone seen
I did see
those?
that.
Like,
yeah.
There was one perk that makes triple tap give you 2 rounds back instead of 1 round.
Uh-huh. And one that
Claw looks excited.
It's stacked on top of like Grave Robber. There was one or some perk that nobody ever uses, and it was like doubles the rate. Yeah.
But does that's a speculation thing that I don't even have any idea about. But is it something, are you going to be able to roll that secondary perk? And if you don't have the primary perk, it's useless? Like, how is it?
Well,
we don't know
from
how
the
they're gonna
ones
work.
that I saw today, it was like they were included together. Like you had both those perks, and it wasn't an option to choose between them. You just got them, both of them. They stacked. And then there were other perk trees on top of that. But, I'm just speculating from what I saw in the database, so...
Can you make Firefly larger, please?
It doesn't crash enough systems yet.
There was one where focus fire on auto rifles, like you could allow, like if auto rifle had focus fire, it had Firefly whenever you got a headshot, which was pretty cool.
That's true. That is true.
Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Is there a perk for hand cannons that turns exhumed into rangefinder? Because that would be a good perk for me and the hand cannons that I consistently get.
No.
Oh, one can only hope.
There's not. Sorry.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Oh. Well, with that, we only have a few hours left until y'all hit the ground running in Rise of Iron. I think we're going to go ahead and start closing it out and let y'all, get a quick nap in if you need it.
Indeed, I will.
I got to be up in 4.5 hours to play me some Rise of Iron.
Yeah.
That's why I took a nap before this.
Well, we just want to go ahead and say that, we're going to be releasing this podcast from here on out on Fridays every week. So hopefully we'll just have the news covered, whatever the Bungie weekly update is, and we'll be on point with whatever's going on that week. And also, we're going to have guests from the community, mostly Rezo members every week, so you can hopefully get to know each person from Rezo even more every week. And we're super, super excited for that, just to hang out with everyone. And then we'll also might have some people outside of Resolute, other people who are involved in the community. So we're really excited for what's to come. Already got a lot on the books. We're super hyped for it. To close us out, Hove, do you want to tell them where they can find you? And we'll just kind of go down the line here.
I'm Hove. You can find me at twitch.tv/Hove76. That's HOV76. Twitter at Hove76. YouTube, Hove76. Pretty much everywhere. Just search Hove76. Go to MySpace. You can be in my top 8. And that's it for me. How about you, Triton?
Well, you could find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, all under Triton Please. That's Please with a PLZ. And I'll kick it over to Lego.
Yeah, this is Lego. You can find me at Legole Flash. Pretty much everywhere. That's Lego LE Flash. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, everything. And then you can also find Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter, teamresolute.com. And you can also find us on Twitch at Resolute Gaming 7. You can also find REZOcast at REZOcast on Twitter now, and hopefully we'll be answering questions for next week, posting up our guests, so you can hit us up ahead of time. We're really looking forward to that. Hope you follow us. Claw, where can they find you at?
You can find me at Claw_Rezo on both Twitter and Twitch. Follow me. I need 1,000 followers.
Do it. He's streaming. Do it.
I need it, and then I'll quit. That'll be enough.
He won't allow any more. Okay. Well, with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for having us here. Claw, thank you so much for being with us.
It's been my
Love you,
pleasure.
Claw.
Thank you so much. Love you.
GG, guys.
GG.
GG.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, guys. This is Lego. I'm joined here with Hove and Triton.
This week, we're going to talk with... Fuck me.
Fuck.
I was going to say Claw, and then I realized, God damn it, we're doing the Claw noise. Start over. Cut.
Okay.
And here we go.
Okay,
Wow.
Claw. There you go.
Rip my podcast career.
at Team Resolute on Twitter, and also TeamResolute.com and Team Resolute 7 on Twitch, which is awesome. And also,
It's actually Resolute Gaming 7
on
on Twitch.
Okay, I regret.
Wow.
I regret. I just know it has a 7 in it. It's on my save thing right there. Okay. You can find Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter. You can find them teamresolute.com, and you can find them at, what is it, Hove?
Resolute Gaming 7
I couldn't remember.
at Twitch.
Oh, this is awesome.
Can we get a new host?
Yes,
Oh,
new
I have a
host, new
plan.
host. Okay, Hove. I'm gonna. Resolute
And say
Gaming
us,
7,
say
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna edit the crap out of this.